Do you need any review of that, or do you understand her
Well,
her whole history?
I pretty much got a hold of it. We were just trying to figure out is everything here that what she came in for was taken care of, and about that discharge.
Well,
you
the
know.
fixable things I think are fixing.
Yeah.
The problem is there are a whole damn bunch of unfixables.
Yeah.
In fact, I think you need to hear the list.
Okay.
A bad admission at St. Anthony in April, diverticulitis, colectomy, colostomy, interocutaneous fistula, went to select, had seizures. Seizures resulted in this near vegetative state, kind of incommunicado, bedridden, and all that. And then she has peg tube feeding dependency. She came to us from Siena, extended care, mainly for a sodium of 114. That's barely compatible with life. Her sodium should be where it is now. That's 137. And I think mainly it was because she was so darn dehydrated. She was dry as a potato chip. Okay?
So what they were feeding her wasn't. They didn't have any kind
Well,
of
she'd
whatever.
probably gotten sick, and she probably quit taking anything. I don't know if she was vomiting. I don't know what all was going on, but the feedings through the peg tube weren't enough, and she's probably going to have some water in addition to her feedings.
Right. Now, is because they wasn't giving her water through the mouth. They wouldn't let her get.
Yeah, I think the dysphagia keeps her from taking anything by mouth, right?
Well, every now and then she'll want something. It won't be
Well,
much.
what she wants doesn't count for anything because she
Right.
probably has a swallowing issue that
Right.
means she's going to aspirate.
Right.
In fact, she may have aspirated, and that may be what caused the pneumonia that I've treated for the past 4 or 5 days.
No, I said I didn't. That's the first I've heard about pneumonia.
Well, yeah, that's what we ended up treating here. I thought it was going to be a urinary infection, but in fact, the Pseudomonas organism that is in her urine is probably just there, and it's going to stay there because she has a catheter in all the time.
Right.
Right? Okay, so let's see. To go through this admission, I basically gave her some IV fluids very cautiously because that sodium level, you can't raise it too fast or you'll kill a patient. So I raised it very slowly over about 3 days, got it up to in the mid 130s now. And she looks so much better than she did when she came in. She looked like death warmed over
Oh yeah.
when she came in. Let's see, her white count, the white count goes up with infection. It was up at 17 or something like that the first day, and now it's down in below 10. So that's normalized. It was 17.2, now it's down to 6. Okay, so that got better. Chest x-ray has not really improved yet, but it takes weeks for that sometimes. Urine grew Pseudomonas, but we're not going to worry about that because it's probably a colonizer rather than a pathogen. What else? Yeah, that's about it. I stopped her IV fluid yesterday, and she's just on the tube feedings, and we can do a little bit of extra water for that if it looks like she's going to need it.
Okay.
But that's kind of where we're at, and I think we would actually be good sending her back in the next day or so.
Okay.
Now, her appearance when she came in made me wonder about her resuscitation status and all that kind of thing, and I think she's still a full resuscitation. Is that right?
Yeah.
And I would have said when I saw her the first time that given her misery at that time, that it would be inhumane to do anything to prolong that misery. She's obviously much less miserable now, but I think that question still looms for you. If she could express herself, which I'm convinced she can't, would she want us doing all these heroic things each time to preserve her current status? Because I think you could impute a little bit of misery to her current existence. Am I right?
Well, before she got there, we discussed that, and she said no, because over at Siena, they asked, but I wasn't clear on what that meant. And then, but she said, yeah, no, don't put me on what DNR, what they call them.
Yeah.
And so I can't really say don't do nothing.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna make that call.
Okay.
To say do nothing. If
All
it's
right.
something that she comes and she's not responding, and if she can't, then maybe we'll get with my daughter and something like that. Now, if it's something, if there's just no hope at all,
Yeah.
it's nothing we can do. But as far as I'm concerned, this little drop of sodium, whatever, we fix
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's what we fixed. Okay, we'll plan on sending her back tomorrow then. Big deep breath. Good. Are you hurting? Are you hurting? Where? Now, usually she said no to that.
Your stomach hurting, your back hurting.
Do we think that her responses are valid, or is she just
Well,
responding?
she just always says yes, and I
okay.
think that's what got her in trouble at Select.
Okay.
And I think Select just gave her too much of that Dilaudid.
Maybe. Maybe.
And
I'll add some flushes to her tube feedings when we send her out.
okay. Now, now, what's the best way they can get water in her when we get it back over there?
She's got a peg tube.
They can get this through there. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
Add a little extra water 4 times a day.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
All right.